timing. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I'm back again. I know it seems a little bit odd because I was just on earlier for the local body and its midweek motivation. But this is our 36 abundance encounter for the Emerge movement. A movement that is centered and focused on empowering people on their journey to spiritual wholeness, a purely virtual community of spiritual people who are looking for insight and instruction and revelation and to help them to be able to live their best life. And we are in the midst of going through these 6 days of abundance where we are going to give you the keys to manifesting abundance in your life. We are giving you the keys, a different key every night to manifesting abundance in your life. I'm so glad for all of you who chose to tune in tonight, and we have some good information to share with you. Go ahead and tag and share the broadcast with as many people as you can very quickly, because remember, we're only here for 30 minutes. And then tag as many people as you can possibly think of so that they'll be able to tune in and get these keys that will help you to be able to manifest abundance. Please know that it is God's desire, God's will for you to have abundance in your life. It is God's plan, God's desire. Everything in the universe and everything in nature, everything in the created world and those other dimensions, windows, portals, doors, and gates are all designed and working conjunctively together to assist you in living the highest version of yourself and experiencing abundance without limits, infinite, overflowing, extraordinary abundance in your life. And abundance doesn't just happen. Nothing just happens. Everything is a result of the intentional acts and behaviors, the intentional thoughts, words, and deeds of every individual. You are the God of your garden, and nothing can or will exist there except you say, "Let there be." You are the creator and curator of your own existence. You determine how you will experience and express the divine in this three-dimensional existence that we call Earth. You have the power, that is the right and the authority to have the kind of experience that you desire. And what we're giving you are simply keys that you can use in order to manifest abundance in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, lack, want, need, scarcity are all an illusion. They're figments of your own imagination. They only exist in your lived reality, in your experiential reality, because you believe them to be so. Because you believe in their existence, you think, speak and act in alignment with the illusion. And because you are a divine being, because you accept it as your truth, divinity or the universe around you has no choice but to be a mirror or reflection of that which you have accepted as your truth. And because you have accepted scarcity, lack, and need or want as your truth, it keeps bringing you more of the same. The moment that you change your mind, the moment that you begin to shift your consciousness and embrace the reality of the endless, infinite, abounding truth of abundance that is within you, through you, and as you, and inextricably for you, is the moment that the universe will reconstruct and recalibrate itself to reflect back to you what is your most dominant thought. That, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute truth. So we are here to give you the keys of manifesting abundance, the keys of abundance. The first key that we gave you on Monday was the law of cause and effect. That law says that everything has a specific corresponding cause, and every cause has a specific corresponding effect. It is the law of laws, or the granddaddy of all the laws. That is, that everything proceeds from the law of cause and effect. God, the divine, is the ultimate cause. And because of that cause, all things that exist are the effect of the singular cause called God, or source, or one, or in a divine mind. That singular cause is now the reason for all of what we are living and experiencing as an effect of the singular cause. That law is the law that governs all things. That the seeds of causation, our thoughts, our words, and our actions are the seeds of causation that have specific effects. And that when you discover an effect that you want to continue, simply trace down the cause and replicate it, because it will always produce the exact same effect. The second one that we looked at was on last night, the law of sowing and reaping. The law of sowing and reaping simply says that everything produces after its own kind. Therefore, your seed will determine your harvest. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. So whatever it is that you desire to manifest, whatever is your intention, whatever is your deliberate purpose in manifesting, then if you sow that as your seed, whether that is joy or peace or love or money, then the law says it will produce after its own kind, and the harvest will reflect the seed. Your harvest always reflects the seed. Tonight, we want to add the third law in these 6 keys. It is called the law of increase. The law of increase. The law of increase simply says that the universe will always return what is released in greater proportion. The universe will always return to you whatever you release into it in greater proportion than what you have given. Please understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the universe is like a giant copy machine. Whatever you release into the universe, whatever that might be, the universe now takes the original and puts it into the mechanism of its operation, its systems, and like a copy machine, it begins to mass produce what you have placed into it. And so you began with the one, and it multiplies what you have released into it and returns it back to you more than what you had initially released. Whatever you release into the universe consciously or unconsciously, whatever you release into the universe is multiplied back to you. Let me touch the consciously and unconsciously, because remember that the law is the law is the law. So ignorance of the law does not allow you to escape the effect of the law. So your knowledge of the law that you're gaining tonight turns on the light and empowers you to now align yourself with it so that the law works for you instead of producing what you don't desire. When you consciously interact with the law, you are able to deliberately and intentionally determine what you're going to release into it so that it can be multiplied back to you. This particular law is based upon a scriptural text found in Luke chapter 6, verse 38. The text says this: "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, and shaken together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure you meet withal, it shall be measured to you again." There are a few elements to that particular text that really help to expand and expound upon this particular law of increase that I want you to see. It says, first, you have to do the deliberate act of giving or releasing something into the atmosphere, into the universe, into the ether, into the realm of the spirit world. Remember that your words, deeds, and actions are the process of creation. They are the process of manifestation. You create within your mind. It informs your perception, which informs your perspective. Your words now speak in alignment with your perspective that reflect the thought or the image of your mind. And then your actions that are in correspondence to your words, aligning themselves, now place a demand on the universe around you to manifest what it is that you have set your attention upon. What you give attention to, you give intention to. And the law of increase says what you have released into the universe or set your intention toward, the universe now returns that back to you, but it returns it to you multiplied in greater proportion than what you have released it to. You will find that this law fits and ties perfectly with the two prior, the law of cause and effect and the law of sowing and reaping. Let's examine that. The text begins by saying, give. Giving is the seed of causation that produces the effect. It is the deliberate, intentional act of love and compassion and generosity. I am giving or releasing something into the universe. I am not giving to get, but I recognize the privilege of getting to give. Give, the seed of causation that produces the effect. Then it says, and it shall be given unto you. This is reaping what you have sown. Because I have given, I have sown, and then I will receive what I have given. I reap what I have sown. My seed has determined what my harvest will be. It is reproducing after its own kind. Then it goes on to say, give and it shall be given unto you. Finally, good measure, pressed down and shaken together. This is increased or multiplied return. That what I have released as my seed of causation, as my seed to represent what my harvest will identify as to be replicated, is now not just returned to me, but it is returned in greater proportion. It is pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It comes back to me multiplied. Are you understanding what I'm saying? This includes, but is not limited to, love, joy, peace, patience, compassion, generosity, gratefulness, brilliance, beauty, grace, mercy, opportunity, resources, and yes, money. I want you to just, right wherever you are, say the word money. Because that's the word that has almost become taboo, especially in the religious world and even in the spiritual world, because everyone desires money, but they're afraid to talk about money or verbalize money as to try now. They're afraid because they believe that it paints a portrait of greed and wantonness. But money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. Desiring money is saying, I understand that money is an answer. Money is a resource. Money is an energy. Are you understanding what I'm saying? The scriptures even say that money answereth all things. That money is an answer or a solution. Are you hearing me? It's an answer to a question waiting to be asked. It is a solution to a problem waiting to be reckoned with. Money is a resource. It is not a source. It is a created energy from the source that is the Spirit of God within me, which is the source of my supply. It is a resource or energy manifestation that I'm able to use in order to do business or occupy in this three-dimensional world that we call earth. So it's good and right and righteous for you to desire money. or desire peace, desire joy, desire love, to desire compassion, generosity, gratefulness, brilliance, beauty, grace, mercy. It's absolutely appropriate and in order. But remember that the law of sowing and reaping says, whatever you desire, release it. And when you release it, the law of increase will take the seed sown and multiply the seed. I talked about proportionality on last night. I want to touch it again tonight as it relates to increase. When you release a particular thing, whatever that you desire, into the universe takes that as a seed and begins to multiply it. But it multiplies it in greater proportion than what is sown. But the proportionality is aligned with what is sown. So I use the analogy of the apple seed. You plant the singular apple seed, and it grows and gives you an apple tree that produces multiple apples. Yes, you have gotten an increase on your one seed. But wait, ladies and gentlemen, because it has produced multiple apples, and every one of those apples have seeds in them. Woo! Now, you not only you started with one seed that produced a tree and gave you multiple apples, fruit, but in the fruit are multiple seeds. You can either discard the seeds, or you can see those seeds as an opportunity for you to sow again, so that it begins to multiply. If you want an apple orchard, you have to plant more than one seed. You get to decide, do you want an apple tree or do you want an apple orchard? Are you understanding what I'm saying? So the law of increase gives you and returns back to you in multiplied form, in greater proportion, everything that you release into the universe. Now, please understand, while I speak of this in terms of money or grace and mercy or generosity or brilliance or beauty, that the opposite end of the spectrum is still the same. If you are releasing negativity, malice, strife, jealousy, hatred, envy, criticism, all of those things that you release into the universe has no choice but to take your seed and replicate it and multiply it and return it back to you. Remember the first law that governs divinity. Your outer world of form and experience is a reflection of your inner world of thought and feeling. So, ladies and gentlemen, if the universe keeps multiplying back to you those things that you don't desire, check your thoughts, check your feelings, your emotions, your motives, and check your actions. You are the common denominator. You are the determining factor. So if you don't desire to have those things continuously multiplied back to you, check your own conscious mind and make the intentional, deliberate shift from one spectrum to the other and go from the negative to the positive. Go from the hatred to love, from jealousy to appreciation. Are you understanding me? From complaining to gratefulness, from malice to compassion, and from poverty to abundance and wealth. If you think from a poverty mindset, if you speak from a poverty conversation, if you act in concert and correspondence with poverty, you will breed more and more poverty. But when you think, speak, and act from a place of abundance, you release that sense, essence, and truth of abundance into the universe, and the universe multiplies it back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. God bless you tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this 30/60 abundance encounter. I want to encourage you again to make sure you sign up for our free text notification so that you don't miss not one night of this great experience. The information is on your screen right now. I'll leave it up as I'm preparing to go off the air. Sign up for the text notifications absolutely right now. If you like to sow and release seed into my life tonight, the information is written in the description above, and I'll place it on the screen for just a moment for you to see. You can use Cashapp, Zelle, or PayPal. If this is informing, blessing, empowering you, then you have the right and the privilege and the responsibility of sowing into this and to me, who has been the tool, a vessel that's used to give you this enlightenment. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8:30 with our fourth key to manifesting abundance. Until then, you have the best night and make tomorrow the best day ever.
Thank you for tuning in. And be sure to catch us every Sunday at 7 p.m. for empowerment.
That we are a unique expression.
Every Thursday at 7 p.m. for momentum.
The creation of God and the God who created him.
Once again, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms. And we'll see you next time.